Old Man Gloom feels to me like it could be a door to somewhere amazing, you know. On the other hand, it's kind of setting you up for what it's saying, you know. Ouch, pain, a little bit of suffering, you know. But I think the more we can say what's true, the better. You know. So let's go with that.
I think of a man that has been inside for too much and got divorced, and his kids doesn't talk to him anymore, and he's kind of dissolving in front of the TV, turning bitter, and that's
okay. Kind of sounds like a Nordic mythology or something, you know, like a mythological character.
Old Man Gloom. For old man playing guitar and singing, it's what I imagine. Never.
Never heard of him. All right.
Sorry.
What do you think a band like that could possibly sound like?
Probably very good.
I've never heard of a band called Old Man Gloom before.
Have they collaborated with Skrillex yet?
Yeah, could I look them up on SoundCloud?
Old Man Gloom. Pretentious?
And you?
Folk doom metal. That's what it sounds like.
My name's Pete Majors. I'm going to talk about Old Man Gloom. It's going to be a lot of fun.
My name's Andy. I don't know how I want to be titled. Does it have anything to do with the store? I own a record store called Aquarius Records. A record label also called Tumult. And a cat called El Duque.
Mike's fine. Yeah.
She's my talking cat. She talks a lot. She loves the tension and loves to talk. That's Jewel. Yeah. I'm known as John. Okay. Basically, I mean, Johnny, I'm here Johnny at work because we have about 10 guys named John at work in his office, so I'm Johnny.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I am his father-in-law, but I'd rather be considered a friend, you know, of Aaron. Okay. And, you know, I am an Old Man Gloom fan.
Yeah.
I'm a music fan. Yeah.
But I shall be good help to you, nevertheless. And filter and fiber your blood.
I'm Scott Vermeer. I'm the frontman, Vox, and tape loops for Sad Visions.
And I'm Stuart Pittman. I'm the lead guitarist in Sad Vicious. I'm also backup Vox in Sad Vicious.
We just finished a big set. This was a huge opportunity for us. Tonight we performed at the San Francisco Imaginarium. This is a very prestigious institution. We were called in last minute. I guess another act canceled, and we were called in to perform for Flesh Eating Beetles.
I don't remember the first time I heard Old Man Gloom, and I don't remember how I heard about Old Man Gloom. I do remember why I was excited about Old Man Gloom. Mostly it had to do with monkeys, as I've stated in other movies of yours.
Those Old Man Gloom records look so amazing. Those are some of the best designed records ever, and it's not just because there's monkeys on them. They really look amazing, and I can't actually envision them looking any other way.
I think that there was some sort of connection between metalheads and monkeys. Perhaps tenuous, but it seemed like most of the metalheads I knew were really into monkeys.
I got turned on to Old Man Gloom very shortly after I'd kind of gotten turned on to Cave In, and that was right after I'd gotten turned on to ISIS, and then was really kind of latching on to what Hydra Head was doing. But the receiving clerk at the Rasputin's I worked at, he had told me about Old Man Gloom, and what was funny is we went to go find the CD out in the bins, and he said, you know, it always gets misfiled because of the artwork. The artwork's kind of like, whoa, what is this? You don't necessarily know, and I guess it typically got misfiled in electronica. It didn't like scream out heavy or artsy or indie, but maybe electronic because there was a mixing for it. Yeah, it seems pretty weak, but yeah.
I've been a rabid fan of Old Man Gloom since 1999. It's like, you know, every time they put out a new record, I get very, very excited.
When I first heard Old Man Gloom, it took me back because I grew up listening to heavy music. You know, Seeger, Fogerty, Nuge, so it really brought me back to a lot of this sort of like music that I listened to when I was younger. And I'm still listening to heavy music, but more punk and alt. And I listen to a lot of alt rock and alt punk. But I saw what they were doing, and I thought to myself, this is kind of alt metal.
They've got all kinds of names for it now. You know, death metal, black metal, you know, whatever. What is it, sludge metal, grudge metal?
Yeah.
But I'd say tormented. tormented metal. Yeah.
Funny story how we met. When I got the Rio, the Kia Rio that is our tour vehicle, I got it from our old bass player, Darren, who's no longer with the band. And Darren sold me the Kia Rio, and when I picked it up, it had a tape in the tape player. That tape was Meditations in B, Old Man Gloom. And I didn't know that. It was an unmarked tape, but it was the only tape in the tape player, and I would just listen to it over and over and over again.
It was stuck. It wouldn't really come out. So it was like no music or the tape.
Or the tape. And then, I don't know, maybe the guys in Old Man Gloom heard about us somehow. They contacted us, and they said, oh, would you like to come on tour with us? We understand you're San Jose's most hated band. And we said, of course, OMG, we're so excited. We listen to you all the time. We're always listening to you on tour. Yeah. And so it was just sort of an amazing synchronicity.
Yeah, that first Old Man Gloom record blew my mind. In many ways at the time, I enjoyed it more than the main projects those people were a part of.
I don't know, I guess if you like squashed ISIS, Converge, and Cave In together and made it a little bit more like minimal and knuckle draggy, then it would sound like Old Man Gloom.
I think each member of Old Man Gloom does have their own sound as their individuals, and you feel that in whether it's Nate and Converge. His sound is there. Same with Aaron. So that's why I always say it was like ISIS spaced out, because I think in the core of it you still felt Aaron's presence the most.
Basically, yeah, Aaron's got that one. I can never understand what he's saying, but but then he told me once that if you could understand, then he's doing something wrong.
I love calling bands supergroups because they hate being called supergroups. So yes, I would.
They're super. I don't know. I don't know what a supergroup is. I know like Paul McCartney played with the guys from Nirvana, and that's a supergroup. But yeah, I guess so. I think they write super music.
A supergroup is essentially a band consisting of people that have played in other bands. And we've been, in the San Jose sort of scene, we've been referred to as a supergroup. And I think that's because prior to Sad Vicious, Scott and I played in so many different bands down in San Jose.
When we came together, everybody said, oh, it's a supergroup. And we said, well, look, let us make our songs, let us play them to you, and then you decide if it's super or not. And I think same thing with Old Man Gloom. I think that the sum is greater than the parts. I'll put it to you that way.
I like all the bands that are in the band math equation. I like Cave In, I like Converge, I like ISIS. But I do think I like Old Man Gloom the best out of...
It's kind of like, what is that, Voltron? When it comes together, it becomes like a, far more powerful and being than each individual part. So I feel like that's what Old Man Gloom is. Voltron. Old Man Gloom is Voltron.
It was more fun to just imagine it was some mysterious bunch of like monkey worshipping druids or something, you know, playing this weird kind of like knuckle dragging, like psychedelic metal.
So the origin story is that Aaron, when we formed Old Man Gloom, we were conceptualizing on a walk what Old Man Gloom would be, and we came across a man with a little monkey sitting on a park bench, and the monkey was wearing a little diaper, and he was eating up a fig or like a date or something. He had some little, it was either a date or a fig, I don't know which it was, but he was eating it up and he was wearing this diaper, and it was so incredible that someone spit out that the band should be monkey themed.
I have a hard time keeping up with all of that, to be honest with you. You know, those guys are just constantly like rolling with it and just coming up with ideas. Oh, let's do this. Oh, that'd be funny if, you know, we did whatever, you know, did the vinyl version, like these actual monkey faces that all kind of look like the guys in the band. And then it's like, okay, they're online like searching for pictures of apes that look like all of us, you know?
I've been trying to figure that out, but I haven't been able to work into that yet, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, the simians or whatever, it just...
I think also that same summer, when I was there for a couple weeks and we were doing the Old Man Gloom stuff, I had smoked a lot of pot and Santos had not. And we were watching TV late at night, and an old black and white movie of monkeys dressed up in little Western outfits playing instruments came on, and that was a very formative moment as well.
It was fucking incredible. It's like it was unbelievable that it was happening, because we had made this monkey decision, then all of a sudden Aaron was stoned to the bone, and we were lying in his bed together, which happened a lot. It was like 2 a.m. lying in his bed just like watching TV, me not stoned, and this fucking thing just came on, and it was just like, it was just music going like, but these fucking monkeys were like dressed up just playing instrument, obviously being like shocked or terrorized in some way, but there's one with the drumsticks just going, and there was one with a little guitar.
We created it with our minds. We manifested that moment, and it just kind of solidified the Old Man Gloom simian theme.
I mean, the one song I like of theirs, I think it's called A Night at the Gentleman's Club for Apes. I mean, that's just totally different from what you would hear from Old Man Gloom. You know, all this heavy stuff, and all of a sudden it's like, what is that? You know.
Fucking, I'm an Old Man Gloom. This is cool. We're fucking super cool.
A nice way to ease people into 50 minutes of pummeling.
Yeah.
We croon semi-gently to them and then just berate them for the remainder of the set.
Yeah, we don't want to give them that sense of comfort and quiet and ease anytime in the set. It's abuse from that point forward, and to stop abusing them would be a disservice to them and us.
But it's abuse delivered in the most compassionate, loving way possible. Abuse,
tough love.
Yeah, the intent is to benefit the lives of those who are being pummeled.
idea behind the band was just no holds barred, no matter what we did. You know, just we're gonna do whatever the hell we want. We're gonna say what we want. We're gonna write a record, and there could be 30 seconds of music and 2 hours of just complete noise and us laughing and making fart noises, and that'll be the album we put out. And if you don't like it, fuck off.
I like them. I'm not comparing the two bands at all, but I like them in the same way I like Hendrix. It's just free and open and like, you know, just go. Just fucking do something, you know what I mean? And that's the impression I get from them, and I find that a very liberating and exciting thing.
It's obvious in those records that they were just going for it and making this crazy stuff that probably was too weird for... I mean, their bands in general are sort of weird anyway, but this was like extra weird.
The music is very serious, and it's, you know, I'm sure they put a lot of thought into writing it and recording it and all that, but it's always been like a kick in the dick to anyone that takes themselves too seriously, including themselves, really, like in their other bands, you know. So I don't know. I mean, I think maybe they needed it as a release. I don't know.
I remember one time we were talking about, we were kind of setting up a show, and we were talking about space. We were actually arranging the merch table, and Aaron brought me over and he said, Stu, less is not always more. More is more. And I was thinking about his music and all the layers and, you know, the guitars and the deep bass and the double pedal drums, and, you know, I was thinking, yeah, more is more. And he said, more merch on the table, more records, more tapes, more t-shirts. You gotta sell. This isn't a game, this isn't a joke, this is a lifestyle.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a 50-50, it's a give and take. We do our part, and the audience has to, I mean, they have to do their part. And as far as I'm concerned, the least amount would be 40 hours a week devoted to Old Man Gloom in order to fully grasp.
I'd say that's
and
fair.
keep up their end of the bargain. That's
fair.
I don't know, it's conservative, I feel like.
Yeah.
Tonight is Zozobra. No bullshit. In Santa Fe right now, Zozobra is happening. Actually, they're an hour ahead, so it's probably just getting dark. So there are thousands of people packed into a fucking field in Santa Fe, New Mexico right now, and Zozobra is literally in front of them, about to be burned. It's the most important thing that happens to New Mexicans, or to Santa Feans rather. Albuquerque is bullshit. They don't count. They're not involved. It's the most important thing that happens to Santa Feans every year and for their whole lives. And this isn't bullshit. I don't go home for Christmas. I don't go home for anything but Zozobra. Like, that's everything. It's fucking Christmas, New Year's, Harvest, Halloween. It's everything all rolled into one. And so, you know, that song it's just scratching the surface. Zozobra is so important and magical, monumental that anything less than what we did would be insulting and misleading. So in order to write an ode to Zozobra at all, I mean, I think a half hour is
the least we could have
scratching the surface.
occurred to me recently. I was listening to Old Man Gloom's album, No, and sort of just laying down on my bed, kind of winding down for the day. And I thought, we're not getting a lot of offers as a band. What's the root word of the word offers? Off. What's the opposite of off? On. What's on backwards? No. What's on perpendicular? Oz. What's Oz backwards? Zo. Zozobra. Zozobra. It's a song. It's a song on the album.
Loud and clear.
And Zozobra started playing when I made that connection.
Everyone's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and everyone's kind of looking at each other like 7's next, right? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not a rhythm. It's not a riff that returns eventually. It's just like numbers.
It's a 2, 5, 4, some, I don't know.
Anyone that wants to understand that song and how it moves and how it evolves and devolves needs to fly to Santa Fe, New Mexico the first weekend of September and go to Fort Marcy Park and watch Zozobra, because it's a movement and it's an experience.
If that doesn't work, probably doing bong hits and looking up a YouTube video and throwing on the disc will do the trick.
Yeah, that's close. They're close second.
Yeah. There's nothing to dispute there as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think anybody would dispute that. And we, of course, tried to dispute that it's the 5 best records ever made. I mean, we try to be modest, but I mean, let's call a spade here.
I think it would be out of character if they didn't think that those were the 5 best records ever made. In fact, I generally think most bands think that, but maybe Old Man Gloom are more right about it than most other bands. Yeah, maybe.
But it's more inspiration than anything else. I just love, like I say, a fast beat or, a heavy beat, as far as, it gets me to concentrate a little better. I mean, some people it does the opposite. I'll have somebody come in and they'll be talking to me with this music playing and they'll kind of tell me, can you turn that down or turn it off?
I think we are providing people with an opportunity to empower themselves through the use of no as an ideology, as a linguistic exercise, as a way to minimize unnecessary verbal activity. It's really all encompassing.
Yeah.
No.
The interpretation of that is fun too, because it is kind of a bold, strong, no, the line underneath. Yeah, that was interesting.
How would you say it? It's just, you get some aggression out, I mean, I know when I come in here, we have to, quote, behave. You can't just go totally insane in a place like this. I mean, I used to run jobs out in the field construction. You're on a site and you're just out there with a bunch of other construction workers. If you want to cut loose, you do. I mean, you cut loose in here and you've got, the sheriff's department in here.
A lot of underground bands, you have to put in a lot of work to get people to come out and see your band, and they don't put in a lot of work to get people to see their band. And I'm not speaking disparagingly about them at all. I think that's fine. They're doing exactly what they want to do, and those are the crowds that'll come.
It was purely self-indulgent, as Old Man Gloom has been since its inception. And if other people can derive some sort of enjoyment from it, that's good for them.
There wasn't any goal. It was just, let's just make some fucked up music and have a good time with our friends, And that's what we've tried to always keep as our goal, really.
In all seriousness, this is a very positive experience full of joy and love, and I'm very happy to be sharing it with my fellow Gloomers and all the people who have come to participate in our magical ritual.
It's pretty special when we get together, just for us, but yeah.
Look who's here. It's Nate. Nate, come back.
So that was a really special time with Nate.
We're talking about...
Have you smelled in here?
Yes, we're talking about the magical friendship that exists in Old Man Gloom and how happy we are to be together. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Where were you?
Just now?
Yeah.
We were here.
I mean, in the conversation.
I pretty much caught you up. I just summarized most of it.
But I mean, where were you? What were you saying?
I was saying that
it's hard for me to comment, but I can riff.
I'd like to retract what Aaron said about this being a loving, special.
I guess most of the love just exists between Santos and I, and as you can see, this is the dysfunctional part of the band.
I absolutely love you. I just didn't know where we were. I didn't want to say something that's already, come up.
You can never talk about love too much, Nate.
I love you.
I love you.
Okay.
Carry the flame! Up through the earth! Out to the stone!
think that's their place in history. That in this time of what we're in now, that they are, and in the future, we will look back and say that they were sincere. They were going for it. They weren't trying to get Facebook likes. They weren't trying to get, Instagram likes or Twitter posts. And, I'd just like to finish that by saying that please do like us at www.facebook.com/totallysadvicious. We're just under 200 likes right now, and we desperately want your likes. And that for us is our sincere mission. And so that's also a place where we kind of resonate with them.
Thanks.